Huge protests erupted in Los Angeles against Donald Trump and his administration. Demonstration the corporate media completely ignored. But here at the network, we are showing it. Crowds took the street to oppose Trump ICE raid and the clearly did not take it well. Yesterday, Trump reportedly made his way to the White House roof, ready to rant and rave like a madman, until someone apparently had to pull him back down and say, "Not again, Donald." How do I know? The White House poll report from 5:02 p.m. right as those massive LA protests were underway. Tell the story. It seemed the president may have scrapped his plan for another rooftop appearance. Security teams stationed up there have gone back inside. Though the Secret Service is still keeping the press pool on standby, just in case he decided to make sudden rooftop cameo. Not long before that, according to the White House pool report, the press was told the president was making his way to the roof, so reporter move into position outside. This comes just day after Donald Trump was seen earlier in the week passing and ranting atop the White House, bizarrely claiming he wanted to mount nuclear weapon up there. When questioned about it, when questioned about it, he reportedly replied, "I want nukes on the roof," before gesturing around Washington DC and declaring, "I bought all of this. It's mine. I paid for it." Now shifting back to the massive protest in Los Angeles. Here's another angle. Ongoing protests continue to sweep through Los Angeles, yet corporate media outlets are not giving them any coverage. Here at the network, we are making sure these stories are told. We are the media now. Roll the clip. इतना ना मैं डबल वीडियो लाई अजरे अभी ठीक है। पहली वीडियो रह गई है, बातें दूसरी वीडियो दो वीडियो तो कट्ठे ठीक है, दो वीडियो कट्ठे था उसे ये पहली वीडियो है। Donald Trump is not just facing protests in Los Angeles. The Trump regime is also being called out overseas. Shout out to all our UK viewers here at the network. JD Vance headed to the chimney house in United Kingdom to meet with Foreign Minister David Lammy, following what might be the most humiliating foreign policy and diplomatic blunder in US history involving Donald Trump's meeting with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. I will break that down in a moment. But first, here are our friends, the media's mighty in UK, protesting JD Vance at Chimney House. Roll the clip. Now let's check out what David Lemmy had to say in his post. He wrote, "Today I hosted a meeting with JD Vance and other leaders from Ukraine. The UK support for Ukraine remains rock solid as we continue working toward a just and lasting peace." Now let's talk about what might be the most embarrassing diplomatic blunder in US history. Donald Trump sent his real estate buddy, Steve Witkoff, a staunch Trump loyalist with zero foreign policy or diplomatic experience, as his invite to Russia. During Witkoff four earlier meeting with Putin, he made the jaw-dropping move of using a KGB agent, one of Putin's own allies, as his interpreter. That's a major breach of protocol. You are supposed to use your own CIA or embassy staff, not someone from the other side, yet with almost no experience. That's exactly what Witkoff did. After meeting with Putin, this time Witkoff apparently reported back to Trump with the following. Witkoff reported to Trump that Putin had supposedly agreed to withdraw from Kherson and Zaporizhzhia reign in Ukraine. But in reality, Putin's position was the opposite. He wanted Kherson all of Donetsk and more for Russia. Putin's message was clear. This is our. We are taking it and we will only meet with Donald Trump if supporters plan where Ukraine surrenders heavily fortified territory that Russia has failed to capture so far. Think about that. The Trump camp later claimed there had been a translation mix-up. Meanwhile, European allies, now the driving force of democratic leadership, were alarmed. After meeting with Zelensky, they called Witkoff three separate times in one day, with Trump looped in. On the first call, Witkoff insisted Putin had promised to return the territory and agreed to ceasefire, but the Europeans had heard a very different story. They called back, pressing him harder. That's not what we were told. Tell us the truth. What happened with Putin? Witkoff dodged again. On the third call, as pressure also mounted on J.D. Vance at the chimney house, Witkoff finally cracked. Okay, maybe I got it wrong. It seems Putin actually wants Ukraine to hand over all the land he could not capture. And then maybe he had think about a ceasefire. This means say it all. As Saint Pinner put it, a weak man. Never thought I had said that about any US president. Donald Trump keeps moving the goalposts. I will end the war in 24 hours, 2 weeks, 10 days, 50 days, August 8th. Actually, I need a few more weeks. It's a pathetic. And when you look at his so-called leadership team, it's no surprise. People like Witkoff and sadly Laura Loomer are 9/11 conspiracy theorists and for right extremists known for speaking wild, misogynistic rhetoric. I have covered Loomer in other videos. Even Fox News own national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin, who, to her credit, does a solid job, can see the problem. Jennifer Griffin reports that Laura Loomer is now targeting a Medal of Honor recipient in her latest attack on Army Secretary Ben Briscoe, a close ally of J.D. Vance. The Department of Defense and Army had stayed silent. Meanwhile, Patty Hegseth recently met with Loomer, meaning she is effectively operating at a high level of influence within the Defense Department, securing key meetings and shaping US policy. She even been supported at the State Department. I will be doing a separate video on this, so check back in 90 minutes or depending on who you are watching, just scroll through the network feed. As for Zelensky, once he and European allies exposed Witkoff misrepresentation about his talk with Putin, the Ukrainian president made his stance crystal and clear. No way I am giving up Donetsk and any territory we control. These areas are heavily fortified and Russia could not take them during the war. Handing them over would only strip us of our defense and invite further invention. We are not doing that. Zelensky's position was clear. He opened to ceasefire first. If discussion about reciprocal trade exchange come afterward, fine. But Ukraine will not simply hand over its land. He also insisted on ironclad security, guarantees to secure Ukraine entry into NATO. That message was firmly delivered by both Zelensky and European leaders. While those talks were happening, Donald Trump spent Friday with the Azerbaijani dictator, and a video from that meeting surfaced yesterday in a section of White House that appeared to be either the gift shop or space near the Oval Office. Trump showed off sales of Trump 2028 merchandise. Speaking to the dictator, Trump joked, maybe I should run again. Everyone wants me to run for another 4 years, even if the constitution does not allow it. The dictator encouraged him, saying, you should, Mr. Trump. We dictators run forever. It's an embracing scene. Trump floating 2028 campaign gear inside the People House, joking about ignoring constitutional limits, all while the country economy is struggling and his allies cozy up to Putin in Alaska.
You're not allowed to run a bit. So, because everyone, I'm 28 points higher than anyone. Everybody wants me to run, but
including us.
It's funny. So this drives me crazy. Look, 4 more years. So it's sort of cool. Fellas, come on, grab what you want. That's okay.
There were other symbolic action too, like what he had to Rose Garden, tearing it apart and turning it into a bleak concrete eyesore. It's honestly too bizarre, and I want to point this out as well. As Tom Harden pointed out, it's no mystery why there's been complete silence from the White House and from Trump about the domestic terror attack in Atlanta on Friday. A black police officer was killed in the line of duty. The CDC employee was targeted by a right-wing extremist who was radicalized by the flood of lies spread about CDC. Truly, Donald Trump is the worst president in history. Atlanta officials confirmed the attack occurred right on Emory University campus, home to the CDC headquarters, and especially chilling detail given all the right-wing anti-vaccine rhetoric out there. A black police officer was shot and killed in line of duty, yet the Trump regime has offered no comment whatsoever. Meanwhile, just yesterday, Trump's team pushed a new initiative targeting universities. They have already gone after UCLA, demanding a 1 billion tribute or threatening to shut it down entirely. Governor Newsom in California has vowed to fight Trump on his saying UCLA will not be touched, and they are targeting her as well, trying to seize control over admission and political viewpoint to turn it into a mega-driven institution. One of the latest moves against Harvard involves targeting its patents. Trump has directed Commerce Secretary Harvard to revoke Harvard patents, stripping away their rights to innovation and research, and to do whatever possible to cripple the university at every level. This regime action looks like a calculated effort to weaken the United States. Frankly, it's the exact playbook you had expect if Putin want to dismantle America from within. Trump loves to use the phrase enemy from within. But in reality, what's exactly what he and his regime have become. They are actively working to undermine the country. That's why he protests I show earlier are so important. Keep them going, Fox.